I don't know about you, but this bear market is getting boring.
Oh?
Let me guess, there are ETFs on the horizon?
Yup,
Delays and possible denials?
most likely.
Bring it on.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Tuesday. Hope you're having an awesome day today. If we have a look at the markets, it is another beautiful green day. We will take it. That being said, shout out to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys freaking rule. And I have a surprise because I was able to get my hands on one of these Crypto Zombie Unibright t-shirts. That's right, guys. This is very limited. There's only a handful of these available. I have a size large if you want it. Drop a comment below, say something about the shirt, and we will do a raffle tomorrow. So that being said, having a look at the markets today, let's give it a quick refresh. I always like to see what's up live. So we have a $123 billion market cap, Bitcoin sitting around 3,694, XRP still holding steady at number 2. But look at this. This is a very, very, very close race, guys. I could easily see Ethereum flipping XRP today, but you know this is going to be happening all year, right? Anyway, we have Ethereum sitting at 130 bucks. If we look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Chainlink up 21%. Now, why is Chainlink pumping, guys? It's really not that hard. You know, Binance came out and said that they are listing Chainlink with USDT, TrueUSD, PAX, and USDC pairs. So people get excited and the price pumps. Not to mention that Chainlink is actually a pretty good project, so just throwing that out there. We also have Augur. Now that's more surprising that Augur's up today. We also have Stratus, Wax, who's also in the news today over some, some issues that are going on. We have Quark Chain, Maker, Bugura, Holo, Eternity, Zilliqa, and IOST all doing quite well today. If we have a look at the charts, it's really boring. There's not too much going on. I'd love to go into some deep dive of where we think the price is going from here, but in reality, there's not too much happening. As you can see, volume has gotten a lot lower since we had that, kind of nice little spike yesterday, which even given things in all context is very small when you consider the, where we have to go even just to get back to the 6K level. We have quite some ways to go. However, overall, you can see that right here while there wasn't much happening, and this was back in November, early November, there was very, very low volume, whereas now it does seem like the crypto sphere has picked up. There is more going on. I mean, even just going over today, looking at the charts, volume is $17 billion, whereas if we go back just a day ago, look how low that was, sitting around 14, right? So you got to take it with a grain of salt, guys. Now, we know that the government is shut down in the US and we're just patiently waiting to see what's happening. So the question is it affecting crypto? Well, yes, it is affecting crypto in ways, and we're going to talk about how it's affecting it. I want to discuss the US once again. Are we being a little ridiculous with this over-regulation? Are we really holding ourselves back? And so many other things I want to get into today, guys. So definitely stick around. Have a lot of juicy content for you today. So according to information obtained by Longhash, the U.S. government shutdown has already created problems in the world of crypto. For example, we have Bakkt, a platform for using and trading crypto owned by global financial market company Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, has postponed its launch until the spring due to the shutdown. The shutdown will also stymie the planned launch of a new Bitcoin exchange traded fund, or a Bitcoin ETF, by fintech firm SolidX Partners. So no ETF, and Bakkt is pushed back, okay? The delay for Bakkt is due to the fact that the company requires the approval of the US's CFTC. According to information obtained by Longhash, the shutdown has now moved the approval date all the way back to April. So first we had December, then we got pushed back to January, now we're pushed back to April. This is starting to seem interesting to me, guys, because we've been saying over and over and over again that May is 1 year to the 2020 halvening, which is when, statistically, we see the price of Bitcoin start to ramp up. And it's very interesting that they've decided to push this back to just 1 month before the year leading up to the halvening. I'm just pointing that out. So does that mean we could see more price suppression? Well, if you put on your tinfoil hats, possibly, guys, possibly. So a spokesperson for Bakkt declined to comment any further. However, launching in April, if it meets the deadline, still means it's a good first mover, in the space. Now, you did have the CEO, Kelly Loeffler. She did come out, and they recently revealed that they are pleased to share that they've entered into an agreement to acquire certain assets of Rosenthal Collins Group, or RCG, which is an independent futures commission merchant with nearly 100 years of earning clients' trust. So in December, RCG announced the sale of all of its customer accounts to Marex Spectron, one of the world's largest commodity brokers. So how does this affect Bakkt? Well, first, it's going to enhance their risk management and treasury options with systems and expertise. Other aspects of the transactions will be contributed to their regulatory AML, KYC, and customer service operations, as well as help digital asset acceptance by bringing more choice and control to buyers and sellers. So Kelly Loeffler ends by saying this acquisition underlines the fact that we are not standing still as we await regulatory approval by the CFTC for the launch of regulated trading in our crypto market. So in this sense, she is saying, hey, at least we're not just sitting on our thumbs over here, right? We're doing something. We're actually getting stuff done in the background. So yes, it got delayed, but we're still back here. We're still working. She says our mission requires significant investment in technology to establish an innovative platform as well as financial market expertise to deliver the most trusted fintech ecosystem for digital assets. Now, getting back to my topic about USA, okay? Are we kind of like taking too many steps back here with the regulation, right? Well, it looks like BitMEX, they don't want to take their chances. So as you guys know, BitMEX, very, very, very popular Bitcoin and, trading platform, 100x leverage, right? So it says that they're currently in the process of shutting down US trading accounts and also those in Quebec as they face current crackdowns on unlicensed crypto exchanges. In fact, you saw Tone Vase come out and he had his account shut down and he was super upset about this because, as a guy that, trades, but also has a YouTube channel, a lot of his income was from his BitMEX referral links from people signing up, right? Well, now those are gone. So BitMEX is making their move across North America as the Canadian regulatory body, the AMF, recently informed the SCP that BitMEX is now operating illegally in Canada by saying that they are not registered with the AMF and is therefore not authorized to have activities in the province of Quebec. We informed this company that its activities were legal. But what's up with US, right? So while it says there's a reason why BitMEX is, obviously suspending their trades in Quebec, there's been no news as to why they're suspending trading accounts on their platform in the US, but many naturally assume that they're pulling the plug in America for similar reasons in regards to the harsher crypto exchange regulations, right? So we saw them slam down on Ether Delta. I think they got hit with like a $300,000 fine or something like that. Then we saw these other ICOs, Paragon, AirFox, all these guys. So the SEC has been clamping down quite hard. That is a fact, right? Now, I want to also talk about something that came out from Wax. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wax. If we go over here, they're pretty high on the list. They're a relatively top crypto. I forget what number they are. Of course, I can't find them when I'm looking for them. Okay, Wax, number 84, okay? So they're very popular. They're a gaming type platform. They come from Opskins. So I want to talk about what's been going on with them. So it turns out that last week, 3 investors filed a lawsuit against the California-based Opskin Group, the creators of Wax, which actually stands for Worldwide Asset Exchange. Now, they're an e-commerce platform for digital assets primarily in the gaming industry. The civil complaint alleges that the Wax ICO, which raised north of $40 million back in November of 2017, was in fact an unregistered securities offering, and these investors want their money back. Kind of just sounds to me, though, just like, wow, we lost our money on an ICO. Like, come on, guys. A lot of people lost money on the ICO. You see, had you guys actually made money, let's say the market was going the other way, you wouldn't see any of these complaints coming around, right? But as soon as the bear market comes, oh, we lost our money, we want our money back. Come on, whatever. Anyway, just ranting. The plaintiffs in this case are asking a federal judge to declare the sale of Wax tokens as a security under the federal securities laws and order Opskins Group to repay their $2.5 million invested plus damages and legal expenses. So according to the complaint, the investors claim in part that they were led to believe that the value of Wax tokens received in exchange for their investment would grow as a result of Opskin's successful launch and cultivation of the Wax platform, one of the key elements in satisfying the Howey test, one of the greatest tests ever made. It's almost a freaking century old at this point. Anyway, in determining whether the sale of an asset qualifies as a securities offering, obviously we know a lot of ICOs have tried to get around this by saying that they're a utility token, but a lot of these guys are saying that they're not. So this begs the question, US regulators' approach to crypto, is it obstructing innovation? So you have former Republican Representative George Nethercutt championed cryptocurrency, but took an aim at the U.S. regulators' approach to it in an article for the political news outlet The Hill. So, he says, while diplomats at the State Department are negotiating hard to pave the way for American innovation, U.S. regulators such as the SEC have been slow to make pronouncements regarding cryptocurrencies. He said this has hampered innovation and left many American businesses in regulatory limbo, particularly with respect to whether or not their tokens are classified as securities. He says from a legal perspective, experts have concluded that securities regulations simply do not apply to cryptocurrencies. It's time to put policy makers share the approach, allowing innovation to continue to flourish. In June, also, just to point out, we did make some progress, right? So we had Bitcoin and Ethereum. They said they're not securities. So Bitcoin is not a security and Ethereum is not a security. So that's making some steps moving forward. Now, I want to talk about this guy right here. So in a recent interview, this is U.S. Congressman Darren Soto. Not the first time we've talked about him on the channel. He described his view that most digital assets do not constitute securities. Instead of the SEC, he feels that the majority of cryptocurrencies should be regulated by both the CFTC and the FTC, and he is working to get this approved by Congress. You can see right here, they talk about last year, the cryptocurrency industry saw more SEC enforcements. They penalized ICOs, decentralized exchanges. They worked with the FBI to tackle investor fraud, investigated non-compliant custody solutions. The list goes on. In total, more than 36 million was returned to harmed investors throughout the year. So that's not a bad thing. Not saying like, screw the SEC. They are trying to help, right, in some way. Not everyone is of the opinion, however, that digital assets need the SEC. All right. Congressman Darren Soto went on to say, securities laws can be very intense and hurt the market unless it's truly a security. Overall, we hope to establish jurisdiction and classification so we can bring confidence and clarity into the market. He also believes that most cryptocurrencies fall under the confines of the CFTC or the FTC, saying that there'll be a role for the CFTC and FTC to play, and we'll be saving the SEC for true securities. In other words, stop sticking your fingers in everybody's pie, right? Knowing predominantly that these are commodities and currency transactions. So they are agencies with a lighter touch, and we have growing consensus among the industry that they'd be appropriate for the majority of these types of cryptocurrency transactions and the nature of these assets. SEC Chairman Jay Clay had already said that basically in his eyes, all ICOs are considered to be securities. However, recently, I do want to point out that you had Representative Soto teaming up with Representative Davidson to introduce new legislation which excludes cryptocurrencies from security laws. However, we will have to see what these guys do. We have to see what their stance on. So let me know. What do you think? Do you think the U.S. is taking a little bit too harsh of a stance? Do you think that we're just about right? Or do you think that, we should go harder? I don't know. Let me know below. That being said, guys, before we move on, they have a smoking versus acquired Bitcoin calculator. So if there's anyone out there that's, maybe you smoke and you're considering quitting and you want something else as a motivator, well, they tell you right here. So let's, if you smoke a pack a day, select your country. I guess this is because they cost different things in different countries. So I'm in the US. So it would take you 1 year, 5 months, and 3 days to buy one Bitcoin at $3,626 if you quit smoking today. I don't know if that's really something to get people to quit smoking, but it's something worth noting to look at. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the hack that happened earlier. So we have Cryptopia Exchange hacked. And I keep doing it like this because I'm not sure that this is a true hack or an exit scam. I gotta be honest with you. I've used Cryptopia. I hated it. It was a horrible experience. Everything about it felt sketchy. And finally, what made me stop using Cryptopia was when I started getting emails that said that people were trying to access my account. I don't know if they use it now. They didn't even have two-factor authentication back when I was doing it. They would just send you emails. Not my favorite exchange. Anyway, that's my opinion going into this. I don't like the exchange. But let's talk about what happened anyway. So we have right here that they announced that yesterday they suffered a security breach which resulted in significant losses. Once identified by staff, the exchange was put into maintenance. So this is this is basically what they put out on Twitter right here. The announcement didn't specify the amount of the damages. However, 43 hours ago, an ETH transaction took place, seeing 19,390 ETH moving out of Cryptopia's tagged wallet to an unknown address. The value of the ETH transferred is a little more than 2.5 million. When trying to access the website, this is what you get: maintenance. All right, so basically they're saying this is the first exchange hack of 2019. Whale Panda on Twitter said, "Who really cares? This is a pretty irrelevant exchange anyway." However, he also added that it's somewhat interesting that the attack took place during the bear market where small exchanges struggle to stay afloat, hinting that the possibility of an insider job cannot be ruled out. At the same time, the team made it clear that the appropriate government agencies, the New Zealand Police, the High Time Crimes Unit, have been informed and are working jointly on investigating the matter. Now you can see over here, Whale Panda actually called this out when he said 19,391 ETH, roughly 2.4 million US dollars, has been transferred from Cryptopia. You can click on the Etherscan too if you want to actually see the transactions. One of the beautiful things about blockchain for all you criminals out there, it's not as it's pretty transparent. I mean, unless you're using something like Monero or something like that, right? They also pointed some other stuff out. You can see right here all the different wallets. They had a bunch of different tokens. There were 152 different tokens. Currently, all of them have been moved. As you can see, they're all gone. There's only $71 left in the account. And this is the official thing. So, yeah, I mean, guys, this was the whole thing about the whole proof of keys thing that happened on January 3rd. It sucks. I hope that no one's watching had any major amounts of funds on the exchange. I can't guarantee that those funds will ever be returned to you, but this is 100% why I personally keep my, stuff on a Ledger, hardware wallet. If you don't have time to buy a hardware wallet or you don't have the money, you can download wallets that are free. Monarch is a mobile wallet that you can download, which allows you to keep rights to your private keys. If you want a desktop wallet, you can download something like Exodus. I've used that for quite some time. Just please, whatever you choose to do, guys, please take it off the exchange. Don't leave your coins on the exchange, because these things are going to keep happening. They're not going to stop. Look at some of these. Don't you guys love the comments down here? Well, that was Crypto Chimp. He's the guy that did the intro the other day. That's funny. Everyone's laughing. Oh, this has to be the best one right here. Ready? Here we go. Nope. Oh, this is such a great meme. Satellite to space. I just imagine the Star Trek beam me up, Scotty, right there. Nope. All right. We need to move on. Now let's talk about some crypto coin news, guys. And of course, wouldn't be a episode of cryptocurrency news without talking about Justin Sun and Tron, right? So, we obviously know that BitTorrent's ex-chief strategy officer Simon Morris came out, raised a bunch of questions, arguably was bashing Tron, talking about, BitTorrent and everything else, saying that the blockchain would melt under the strain of, the tokenization of BitTorrent and the network. Furthermore, he claimed that the team would deceptively use centralized architecture to boost transactional throughput. Interesting. We've seen a few projects in the past do this. But we'll save that for another time. So anyway, he responded, Justin Sun, in a Reddit post titled "Addressing the Recent Questions Around BitTorrent Tokens Upcoming Rollout." Despite officially blasting Morris as a disgruntled employee with little insight into Tron's operational plans, Sun did concede that the former BitTorrent executive had spoken one truth in his interview. He said the former employee Simon Morris got one thing right in his statement. Based on confidential research done while he was at BitTorrent, he described the project's tremendous potential. Automated auctions to prioritize download queues, Morris says, could make the entire BitTorrent network as much as 40% faster. Morris went as far as to suggest that Tron's team might even misrepresent through its marketing the architecture of Tron. I suspect that what they're going to do is put it on some central server. They'll wave their hands and say, oh, it's a Lightning Network for Tron or something, and pretend it's Tron-based, but it's not really Tron-based. But according to Justin Sun, the project's white paper, released a week prior to the Breaker interview, described a hybrid approach that sheds light on how Tron will scale. to reach the transactional requirements. So that's pretty much what they said. I mean, you can see right here, I didn't highlight this, but he says, our project white paper was published on the 3rd, a full week before the online article, and answers some of the very questions posed by the former employee. In the white paper, we write, BitTorrent Incorporated will deploy an on-chain, off-chain exchange, which exists to facilitate the transfer of tokens between a high-performance private ledger and the public Tron blockchain. So some questions got answered, some questions didn't get answered. I assume that there's going to be more of this Tron talk going on. However, I want to say that I did check out this video from Hashoshi. If you guys didn't check it out, he was one of the big skeptics of Tron, as a lot of people still currently are. He also is an Ethereum developer. That's what he does. It's his full-time job, by the way, guys. So he had a look into it. And if you guys are really interested in an Ethereum developer's perspective, very unbiased, check this video out. I'll drop a link below in the description. Just check it out. I think it's just a good objective video if you guys are interested. Now, also, I want to talk about Digitex Futures. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they are a non-custodial commission-free futures trading exchange. They began onboarding traders to their beta version of its platform, making exactly 1 year since the Digitex ICO. The ambitious crypto startup has taken CEO Adam Todd's vision to an idea to reality in just 12 months. Now, if you guys are interested in learning more, by the way, I did have Adam on the channel. This was actually a community requested interview. It was you guys on a Twitter poll that I had. By the way, if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, it's at the Crypto Zombie. I do polls and stuff all the time, so if you guys ever want me to feature projects, there's a good chance that we will in the future. But anyway, one of the things I like about this is the fact that you have to actually use the token in order to trade. I find it to be a very unique approach, whereas these other tokens tend to be very speculative, right? They're a utility. They pay for gas fees. But if you want to use Digitex to trade futures, you have to use the token. There's no other way to use it. There's no other tokens they use. So pretty cool. Anyway, long story short, they're rolling this out to a group of 5,000 traders. Onboarding officially starts this week, and the company's developers will be adding more traders to the exchange gradually and continuously. So while the exchange will offer additional futures markets, including Ethereum and Litecoin, currently the beta version is only going to be using Bitcoin. And they do ask that all testers, trade with DGTX. Well, you have to, I think. They're encouraging you for your feedback and reports, talk about glitches and, stuff like that. So that is coming out of Digitex Futures. And also another project that we recently talked to, Matrix, they've put this article out saying that they're honored that they've signed an exclusive agreement with the Beijing, I think it's called Haitong Transport Company. I probably pronounced that wrong, guys, to develop the MBC project. So the MBC project focuses on 4 areas of collaboration: artificial intelligence, blockchain, dApps, and enterprise resource planning systems. Its goal is to build an intelligent global freight shipping application platform, integrating big data information processing, smart contract dApps, financial services, and payment systems on the Matrix blockchain. The goal of the project is to upgrade and improve the current global shipping industry information system via AI and blockchain technologies by automating and streamlining much of the supply chain. This isn't the first time we've seen supply chain, moving to blockchain. In fact, it's been one of the more successful use cases of blockchain technology that we've seen. Guys like Origin Trail and, Morpheus Network, and I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of them, VeChain, stuff like that. So Matrix cooperation with the Beijing Transport Company represents an important step towards real-world adoption and industrial applications. It also brings exposure to payment systems and the transformative impact of intelligent contracts. Matrix is responsible for conducting all research and development work, and it's important to note they are the only AI blockchain technology service provider in the MBC project. So that is all good news moving forward. And on top of that, guys, we also have Ledger X. No, not talking about Ledger Nano X, okay? Don't get them confused here. I'm talking about Ledger X. It's the cryptocurrency company standing behind the derivative markets for Bitcoin and is regulated by the US, the CFTC. They've announced that they have their first index to track Bitcoin price changes. So the team says that they're standing behind Ledger X, and they believe that the crypto traders should have a real possibility to see and analyze Bitcoin's volatility. That's why they've taken a decision to ensure such an option for traders. Just recently, the company has revealed its Bitcoin price volatility index that's known as the LXVX, or the Ledger X Volatility Index. The main aim of the LXVX is to help investors build their trading strategies in the Bitcoin market in the most feasible and effective way. So the team is currently working on a white paper on the LXVX, and the document will be available quite soon. Moreover, it's worth mentioning that at the moment, the key focus of the index is US regulated option exchanges, so that's why compliance with EU regulators is not currently guaranteed at the moment. All right. Now, I also want to talk about this pretty cool news. So you have Tulsi Gabbard is a member of the U.S. Congress who's known to be a pioneer within various fields. She's both the first Hindu member of Congress as well as the legislative body's first Samoan American. Okay, so that's interesting. But why am I bringing this up? Well, she says, I've decided to run for president and I will be making a formal announcement next week. So here's the interesting thing. Gabbard is actually a cryptocurrency investor. Specifically, she disclosed her holdings of Ether and Litecoin back in 2018. Now, she didn't disclose the actual amount of cryptocurrency that she held. However, she says that they said it was somewhere between $1,000 and $15,000, so not too much, and I guess that's depending on the price fluctuation. Unfortunately, it does say that she bought most of her purchases around the peak of 2017's crypto craze. Ouch, I hope that doesn't affect her opinion of it. Anyway, although her public stance on cryptocurrencies isn't really 100% known, the fact that she owns two separate cryptos suggests that maybe she has some kind of interest in the field. Could have just been a test. She could have just been trying it out, but still pretty cool. Not to mention the fact that she's previously called out traditional banks, blaming them for the US's broken system. For example, here's a tweet. She says, while 800,000 Americans wait and work without pay, the administration bows to mortgage industry lobbyists. The blatant corruption and greed of an administration who puts banks above people is the root cause of our broken system. Sounds like she could fit in with crypto, guys. I don't know. Let me know how you feel about this below. Speaking of banks, before we get on out of here, guys, we have HSBC. One of the largest multinational banking and financial services companies announced it has processed more than 3 million FX transactions using blockchain technology. The total of the transactions makes more than 250 billion. So according to Richard Bibby, the global acting head of currencies with HSBC, the bank is trying to conduct thousands of foreign exchange transactions within the bank across multiple balance sheets in dozens of countries. He said FX Everywhere uses distributed ledger technology to drastically increase the efficiency of these internal flows. The data is impressive. They mark a significant milestone in the use of blockchain by mainstream finance companies, which have until now been quite reluctant to use the technology. So this is still good moving forward. And if that's not enough, guess what happened, guys? So it looks like the yellow vest Bitcoin puzzle has been solved. I am not going to go into all of this right now, guys, because really it's pretty complicated how it was solved. They had to find the seed phrases, and it was really cool. But if you're interested in reading how they solved it, I'll never solve these things. I am definitely not intelligent enough to figure out how to solve a damn Bitcoin puzzle. But congratulations to the person who did. Really freaking awesome. I'll drop that below. And before we go, I just want to remind you guys, according to the Rhythm Trader, time to get to the point. This is about whether you believe crypto has a future and gaining exposure to that future. Bitcoin was expensive at 20K. Well, it's 3K now. ETH was expensive at 1,400. Well, it's 119 now. Be greedy when others are fearful. Never financial advice. Just wanted to leave you with that before we get going. Also, guys, as we were talking about getting your freaking coins off the exchange, which you should do, because it's worth it. If you guys want, as you know, I do have affiliate links for Ledger Nano X's below. If you want to get your hands on one of these limited edition hardware wallets, they're shipping in March. You don't have to use my link, obviously, guys. It just helps the channel out, and I do appreciate it. But either way, I don't care if you buy a Ledger. Download free versions of Exodus or Monarch or anything. Just freaking keep your coins safe, guys, okay? That being said, that's it for today. It's Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your week. I can only imagine what's going to happen as soon as I upload this video. It seems like every time I upload, there's some crazy market movement, but it's crypto. That's why we're here. That's why we love it. It's fun. It's crazy. It's exciting. I love you guys. Shout out to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. If you don't get the notifications right away, I know YouTube was working on some stuff in the background. Just hit that bell notification. You'll get informed right away if you guys want to stay up to date. And that's it for me today, guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming back to the channel. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.